Hello, 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 hello. And my fancy hair, my couch hair. Hello, whoever just popped in there. It is Saturday night. Time for another live stream. Ding. My phone telling me that I'm live. So I am trying to figure out. That's a W motor. That's a V. I seen another truck in here. You ever noticed how the pick and pull yards don't have hardly any of the good stuff? No, I'm still. In fact, I didn't even call them this week. I figured I'd give them a week off and hit them up on Monday and see if they've got any news for me. They'll probably just tell me the same thing. Dicor hasn't made a decision yet, and it's still under review. So it is what it is. Boy, I got some fantastic looking hair. So yeah, I'm still in hurry up and wait mode on it. But anyway, I'm still trying to figure out. I'm doing more dreaming than anything else. It's kind of funny. Somebody posted on Facebook on third gen Camaro. I guess there was a meetup down south, and I was like, man, I would love to have Scarlett down there. It says, but when pigs fly, maybe. I just haven't had the resources to do anything with it. And too many things up in the air right now. And there's an old R motor. Available 1222. That one's probably gone already. K will be too old. Won't be what I'm looking for. Yeah, I think they should have, because I guarantee if they did that, it was going to really hurt businesses, because there's a lot of them that would walk out. Me being one of them. What's up there, Doc? Yeah, my mom sent me pictures. They got snow back up home, and they said it was cold. I was watching Ron Hall, y'all. He does some pretty neat forecasting, and it was pretty accurate. He was saying that it was going to have a really bad cold snap. Good Lord, excuse me. A really bad cold snap come through there, and it did. And they're saying there's supposed to be some nasty ice, snow, rain. And wind. Wind is the big thing. We're supposed to get some of it down here. Not the weather anyway, but Doc, let me tell you, the my camper that I've been working on, I stayed in that for a year. It's not really made to be lived in full time, but I lived in it for a year. Wife was with me for 9 months while we were looking for a house, and when we found this one, of course, we took her down there, and I had to finish closing or switching over the shop. And man, it was hard to keep from going through propane, and that and the tanks would freeze up. So, yeah, it definitely wasn't. The walls weren't thick enough, really, but the heater would do a pretty good job of keeping up. I still get remnants from working on that Duramax. That thing finally left. I'm so freaking thrilled. Turbo made turbo noises and no codes. Transmission shifted beautifully. I was just tickled to death. Those Allisons are nice when they're brand new like that. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I think that's what my Cedar Creek is. It's not very thick. If that, it may be, I think the doors may be just 1 inch. I mean, they're not very thick. The higher end models usually get thicker walls. We've been kind of looking here and there, at least I have. I've been looking at Heartland Landmarks. Those seem to be pretty nice. I'd really like to have a Dynamax trilogy, but those things are stupid heavy. And it's really not one that you can tow with a 3/4 ton. Just too much weight. In fact, you really need a medium duty to tow one of them. Oh, excuse me. But yeah, I am looking at the local pick and pull yard, and that's the only thing we got down here, and they know it. So they usually charge a premium for stuff. I've been in there and gotten a few small things one time, and I took the time to pull them off, and they wanted to charge me an arm and a leg for it. I was like, "You've got to be kidding me!" I threw it in their bin and walked out. I was like, "I'm not paying that much for used park that I got to take off." That to me doesn't make any sense. To them, it does because they're making a killing on it. Hey, Steven, what's happening? Yes, Grand Designs are pretty nice. For sure. Of course, we can't afford anything new. And besides that, we've looked at a couple of new campers, and the quality of the new stuff to me is terrible. It'd have to be something definitely pre-COVID. Is it just the quality isn't there? You get people that have been doing it for years and years and years, and those are the ones that you want to get. Of course, Doc, I don't know that I heard about it. I've been so frustrated with the media anyway, so I just haven't been watching much of it. It's just irritating. I get tired of hearing the same old crap and just the lies that come out of everybody's mouth. Steven, I don't know that I've seen it yet. I don't know that I've seen that Sierra yet. I know the 2024 or whatever it is, electric, or that thing is butt ugly. No, you're not going in there. Well, they got a lot of Yukons there. No. Uh-uh. The one that you hear screaming, that is Foxy. Yes, I'm talking about you. She don't like to be picked up much, so I couldn't pick her up and get her on camera. She won't let me. Occasionally I'll get her, but she doesn't like to be held. Sideburns on the front bumper. That's funny. But new approach, I actually have 3 cats. You only I got one behind me on the floor. There's probably one. There she is right there. That's the youngest. And then we've got Yoda and Zoe. And there's a dog way over there against right there. One of my dogs there. There's another one down here beside me, and there's one on the couch. I swear we bought that couch for the animals. It's not really for us. It's rare that we get a spot on the couch. Oh goodness. Well, here's the thing. But here's the thing. Who's that sound like? Oh, wow. Thanks for that. I don't know that I did anything to deserve it, but man, that's great. I appreciate it. For Foxy. She'll like it. Yeah, we're pretty big animal lovers. Seen the Rain Man Ray's auto repair channel. I have not. That ought to be kind of interesting if it actually goes after the movie The Rain Man. But crap, I forgot what the hell I was saying. Oh, yeah, here's the thing. Yeah, who's that sound like? Anyway, the we got to talking about this thing this weekend. Me and a bunch of the guys at work. Well, a couple of guys, the guys I work with on a normal basis. We've come to the conclusion that there wasn't really a chip shortage, and there's probably not a real chip shortage. It's more part of their Green New Deal, so they can push their electric cars versus the gasoline, because they can't produce the gasoline ones because they don't have chips for them. Well, guess what? They got chips for the electric ones. They don't have chips for the gas ones. Go figure. It just infuriates me thinking about all the crap that's going on right now, and it's just, to me, it's all BS. It drives me nuts. I wouldn't doubt it. Here's something sad. So I went to my least favorite place to go to do shopping today, Walmart, and just went in there to get a couple of things. Needed to get some food for the kids and some litter for those guys. There's like no cat litter in there. I mean, you got maybe a couple of boxes of one brand, and that's it. There is no cat litter, very little dog food of the real stuff. I don't buy any of that old Roy crap. I usually get True Instinct or Purina One, depending on what. They didn't have hardly any of that either. Simple necessities, like I take a vitamin D supplement every morning. They're all the thing they got there is the gummies, and I don't want the gummies for all the added sugar and stuff that they stick in there with it. So it seems to me that the trickle down effect is really starting to hit pretty hard. Stephen, that magnetic ride is a hell of a good system. But of course, it's something else that requires a processor, obviously, to make it work. Guess what? They're going to eliminate whatever they can. Yeah, for sure, Doc. And that's part of the reason why I think that that mandate died, and it should have, along with the other like 78 or 80 other freaking mandates that jackass put in, that should have died right there before they even got off the table. Yeah, exactly. And they know it. I mean, that's the problem. I mean, I think a lot of people are afraid to stand up for what they believe in for the consequences, because big government is so big. But I'm about ready to do the dang thing. Oh, well, he says, here's the deal. Okay, well, here's the deal. The more of us that stand up for this crap and everything that's going on, strength in numbers, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. It's got to be strength in numbers. The government is supposed to work for us, not the other way around. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. But again, I'm just so tired of hearing the same old lies and BS and their misinformation about the misinformation, which really isn't misinformation. It's the truth, and they don't want to hear it. It's just frustrating, more than anything. So, like I said, I've just been turned off because I'm just tired of hearing about it. Every time you turn it on, it's like, oh, the death tolls are this, and they're overwhelmed. Hospitals are overwhelmed with patients because of the the new bug and blah 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 blah. And I'm like, what planet are you smoking? got debunked or debanked. I didn't hear about that one. What happened to Lindell? Again, I haven't been watching because I'm just tired of hearing about the same old crap. So, really, tell me there isn't somebody more powerful than him causing that. Yeah, yeah, for sure. That's just stupid. That absolutely freaking ignorant. Well, knowing Mike Lindell is he'll start his own deal. Um, the 45th may get behind him too and help that out. We'll see what happens. I honestly think he's probably going to run again. I hope he does. I heard some stupid rumor that Hillary is going to try to run again, which the only reason why she would run is if she knows that she can win, which the only way that they're going to win is by cheating. That's the only way they won the last one is by cheating. I don't care what they say. It was all, I mean, there is no way that some buck got 81 million votes. No way. Absolutely no way. She what has that gal actually done the whole time she was in there other than freaking giggle at crap and just blabber her mouth? Uh, I don't think she's done anything. It's going to be interesting, but the country definitely needs leadership, and we definitely don't have that now. Um, I tell you who would be a good candidate for president, I think, um, would obviously be our governor DeSantis, but I think that may go. If that happens, then who knows what's going to happen to Florida? And right now, fortunately, we've got him as a governor, and he's doing right by the state by a long time. I mean, they're going after him left and right, but he's standing up to him and standing up for what's right. Heels up. Yes, so I have heard that one. Yoda, Yoda. I swear that cat. Hang on a minute. Quit. Oh Lord, help us if Newsom ran. Sorry, I don't mean anything against you, Steve, but Newsom would be a bad choice. Newsom would definitely be a bad choice. But anyway. Yeah. You know what needs to happen? They have done everything they can to divide the country. I'm one to tell you that I think that in my book there is no room for racism in the world. Period. There really isn't. Um, if all of us got cut at the same time, guess what? We all bleed the same color. Um, we all have similar likes and thoughts. Um, for guys, we like the smell of a good woman. We like this um, and just there's too many beautiful things in the world to be uh, divided in between a color, race, greed, a creed, a religion. Um, everybody needs to do what they feel is right that makes them happy. Uh, you don't need to try to impress somebody else. Um, just be you, be yourself. Um, it's the way it goes. I mean, that's just the way it needs to be. Um, we all get eyes. We all think differently. I mean, when you come out, you don't see color right away anyway, and you don't know the difference other than, hey, that person's got dark skin or that person's got light skin, but they still have the same feelings. They still have the same wants and needs and desires. Uh, that's no different from anything else. I mean, we'd all like to be rich and famous, but guess what? Money doesn't always buy happiness. It can for a while, but it can't sustain it. Moronic. Yeah, absolutely. Oh yeah, they try to pull the in they try to pull the race card, and everything is about the 45th causing a ruckus and around um, the big white house, um, which I don't think he had anything to do with it. I mean, come on. Now, if you watch some of those clips on that stuff that happened on that date, that why were the Capitol Police just standing there letting it happen if they weren't told to let it happen? I mean, that whole thing was freaking staged. That's all there is to it. It was staged. Yeah, I mean, I agree with you guys. I mean, it is ridiculous. And I'm just tired of hearing it. I really am. There's no reason for it. I tell you one thing, I'm gonna take these glasses back to lens crafters and tell them to shove them up their butt. I was telling the wife that's got to be the worst pair of glasses I've ever. And I've worn glasses since I was 18 months. I got out of them for a while. On my 18th birthday, was out of them for a couple years, uh, and then right back in them. And these have got to be the worst. I bought a pair of Oakleys at the same time I got these, and the Oakleys that I got are flipping perfect, and they fit good. But they're sunglasses, so I can't wear them all the time. Well, I could, but I couldn't see nothing that way either. These, however, are supposed to be progressives, but I think they need to go back to the drawing board because they suck. That's all there is to it. I need them though so I can read your screen. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I completely agree with you, Stephen. Well, we didn't have America's Best down here that I remember finding, but it was what I chose. I wish it would have had like a Gary Optical or something like that. That's who I used up north all the time. I never got a bad pair of glasses from that place. And there was a guy there that worked there. His name was Gary, as a matter of fact. He wasn't the owner, but it just so happened to have been Gary. He'd been there forever. He'd fit me with so many pairs of glasses. He finally retired. Yeah, I actually got an ophthalmologist I go to, doc for my that I go to for my glasses prescriptions and everything else, just because of my history with my eyes. So this wandering eye that I've got now wasn't a thing about 10 years ago. I guess it's been already. It wasn't a thing, but as I got older, I don't know if my eyes have gotten weaker or what, but I have considered laser surgery, but my wife had LASIK, and she she still has trouble with her eyes. And in fact, they say after about 10 years or something like that, you're supposed to go back and get another one done. She hasn't done that, and what she has problems with is driving at night. A lot of times she'll get some halos going on. So, I mean, neither one of us are spring chickens anymore, but I don't know. I've heard lots of good things and bad things about doing the LASIK. I mean, I'd love to have it done, but I I don't know. Just it's real expensive still. It would be nice though, because I mean, without them, I mean, it's things are much crisper without these. Um, as far as screen in front of me and that kind of stuff. Now, like I said, my Oakleys, when I wear them while I'm driving, holy cow, those things are nice. Wow, my throat's getting dry. Anyway, right, Doc. I'm like I said, I'm in the same boat. Um, I just keep wearing glasses. I'll probably be wearing glasses till till I'm dead. So anyway, well, I'm getting some videos edited. If you haven't noticed, I've got a few of them out. Got another one coming out tomorrow. Um, hey, what's up there, Jerry? Um, somebody else, excuse me, somebody else told me about Walmart. I can't remember who it was. But said that the Walmart wasn't too bad. Man, I don't know. I guess I don't like Walmart to begin with, but Jerry, yeah, I bet you are cold. It's cold up through there right now. Like I said, we're going to get the tail end of it. It's supposed to start raining just after midnight here and cool off. And I think it's supposed to be like 34, 34 Monday morning. And we're only supposed to get in the maybe upper 50s. What's up there, Michael? $70 degrees by the morning. Whew. Yeah, as my wife would say, you can have that. I don't mind it much, but Dana had surgery on both her elbows on her radial nerves, and so it's real sensitive to cold weather. So this is a blessing for her because it's a lot warmer and she can tolerate it quite a bit better. What's up, Mark? I can remember growing up north, and I've still got a picture somewhere, but it was a picture out of our front window of our house, and it had one of them great big huge front windows that just had the square panes in it all the way around. It was a old freaking wood framed windows. It was back 70s technology. The house was built in 1970. But I can remember looking out, and the road was probably 100 foot from the house, maybe a little bit more. But anyway, it was just solid snow as far as you could see. The plows hadn't been by yet. Nobody had been up and down that road, and it was just gorgeous. Just great big old blanket of snow, and it was probably a good foot and a half deep at the time. Out in the country, it was bad enough that they just brought out the road graders. That's how they plowed the snow. Road graders had chains on the back tires, and that's how they'd plow it and get out there in the country. It worked. So, oh, here we come. Here comes the spammers. So we'll just report that one. Yeah, I've got some stuff to do. I've got to put a radiator and a cooling fan assembly in excuse me, in Bessie. she's got a cracked fan blade, and I think the fan motor's about to go out on the right side. So I ordered a new radiator and a cooling fan, which those two things are original in that thing from 2002, if you can believe that. Radiator's just starting to leak at one of the tanks, and I know that tank's probably brittle as all get out. So I just ordered a new radiator and, a new cooling fan assembly. I got to put in that. So it's supposed to be rainy though tomorrow, and I really don't have any place to work on it. So I don't know what I'm going to do there. I still got Charlie at the up there at the shop at work. I had to get a fuel tank for it. The fuel had sat so long. You'll love this when you see the video on it. The corrosion from ethanol fuel is so bad, it was rusting the bottom of the tank. I pulled the sender out, and the freaking fuel sock just had freaking a pile of rust particles, and I mean, it was bad. Do I have any opinions on import trucks? No, not really. Toyota makes a damn good pickup. I never have liked Nissan products. That's just me. I guess probably from working on their 4-cylinders, I wasn't crazy about them. But people seem to like the Titans. Yeah, the Tundras. I've already talked to a couple of the technicians. I used to work for Toyota for a while. I worked for them for about 6 months. I wrote service on them. Got to be good friends with a lot of the technicians at the Toyota shop there in town. And we got to talking about them the other day, and he said, "Yeah, them new ones are junk." I guess 3.6 twin turbo or 3.5 twin turbo, something like that in the Tundra. He says they're already having problems with them. So, I mean, it's just like every manufacturer. Every manufacturer is going to have some issues with them. An Ultima that wouldn't die. Yeah. No, Steven, that thing is just the damnedest chair. Sometimes it'll stay upright until one of the cats hops in it, and then it'll flop back. But I haven't fixed it. I'd really like to replace it. It needs to be replaced. Let's see. I would buy a Toyota pickup in a heartbeat, just for the reliability. Now, like if you're going to get like a Tacoma or something like that, a little older one that had the 4-liter in it, and that to me is a better engine than the 3.5 is. It just drives better. New approach on the inline 4 on the Silverado. Don't get your hopes up if you plan on pulling anything with it. I mean, as an around the town truck, it's not bad. I've driven a couple of them. They really don't run too bad for being a turbo 4. It's kind of impressive. Of course, I really like the inline 6-cylinder diesel that they put in those. But from what I understand, the supplier of the diesel engine just quit making them. And of course, I'll be right honest with you. The 5.3s are still having issues with lifters. They still haven't got that straightened out. And in fact, Steve was doing one at work here a week or so ago, and he's putting lifters in it, and he got all the lifters in except for one. He couldn't get this one lifter in. It wouldn't go in the board. Didn't look like anything was wrong with the lifter. But for giggles, he went up there and got another lifter, and it went right in there. So, I mean, the machining tolerances of it is still not the greatest. And it seems like anything that was produced after this pandemic, just the quality of it is not worth a damn. That's what I was saying. If I was to buy anything, I would not buy anything newer than like a 2019, just because the quality is not there. Oh, I do like there goes the chair. See what I'm saying? I do like the Forerunners. Oh, Michael. Oh, yes. When I had my own shop, oh my Lord, we did cam phasers on those left and right. And you know, the biggest reason why those cam phasers would fail is the engine would get too low on oil pressure. The cam phasers on them Fords are so bad about if it doesn't have a minimum hot oil pressure of 25 pounds at idle, those cam phasers will make noise all day long. They have to have them, and they have to have the right viscosity oil, or they don't survive. Noisiest damn engine. I hated working on them. Hated doing tune-ups on them. Just not my cup of tea. No, that's true. They go off the oil life monitor, and the oil life monitor, even on GMs, the oil life monitor sometimes doesn't come on for 10 or 12 or 15,000 miles. I'm sorry, guys. That's way too long on oil, especially the way people drive, short trips and that kind of stuff. Says it's supposed to compensate for it, but call me old-fashioned. 4 months, 5,000 miles is like the max for me, even if you're using a full synthetic. Tick, tick, tick. I didn't give a damn either, because it needs an ultimate. It took 3 years to kill it. Then the leak. That's funny. Anyway, let's see. Mark, you wanted to talk about projects. What kind of projects you want to talk about? I tell you, I got some. Still got some videos coming out of some projects that I've worked on. Some little different stuff, some transfer cases. I got to do some projects here. I've got tons of stuff to fix around the house here. That's very true, Doc. You don't take care of them, they don't last. Anyway, I'm working on a purchase of a new to me anyway trailer. Excuse me, not a camper trailer, but I need a new flatbed. I've got a little landscape trailer. It's a little 12-foot landscape trailer that needs. I'm surprised it made it that long. My little landscape trailer needs a wood floor pretty bad, and it's to the point where I don't really want to put any money in this trailer. Been trying to buy my boss's old trailer at work. It's a pretty nice trailer. It needs a little work. It needs tires. Needs a new floor put in it too, but it's quite a bit heavier trailer. It's got 8 lug axles on it, so it's probably either got 2 7,000-pound axles in it, but it should have brakes on both axles. And it's got the hideaway ramps on it. It's a dovetail. That's what I used to take Scarlett up there to, or not Scarlett, took Charlie up there to the shop with. And the thing tows nice. I mean, I could use something like that anyway, because I'm getting really close to wanting to pull the trigger on the cab for old Bertha. And I need some way to move that too. So, that's going to be a huge undertaking, and I'm not looking forward to doing. I mean, it'd be different if I had my own shop here to do it in, because, everything would be here, but I don't. That'd be great if I did. Man, that's most people I've seen come in my page at one time. Yeah, I hear you. But, yeah, Bertha needs a cab pretty bad. She's getting pretty rusty. But I really want to take it off, and I want to take the frame and have it dipped and repowder coated. Michael, that's not uncommon for a Mazda. You can get a ton of miles out of those. Right now, Bessie's got 284 or 286,000 on it. That's that 2002 Ford Escape we've got. As far as I've had to go into the engine, I just replaced the chains and the guides, and I threw an oil pump in there while I was at it, because I had to reseal the front cover because it was starting to leak pretty bad, and still want to leak. I think it's getting to the point where the old engine's getting enough getting sloppy enough to where it's got enough blow by. It's building up too much pressure in the case, and it's blowing the oil past it. But it's yeah, that's that. What do they call that something else? The Z-Tech motor. Or are you talking about the old 2.3 that they used like in the Mustangs and that kind of stuff? Because I think that Z-Tech was a 2-liter. Wow. Yeah, like I said, this Escape has been fantastic. Yep. Okay. Yeah, that was a good engine too. That was pretty decently reliable. Yeah, I just I'd like to get 300K out of the Escape before it retires itself, but We'll just see how it goes. Everybody says bad things about that Duratec, but I tell you what, that thing's been stinking reliable. I've just kept the oil changed on it. Just like they said, oil changes are key, as Michael would say. And it was. It that thing's had the oil changed probably about every 5,000 to 6,000 miles religiously, and always use either the synthetic blend or the full synthetic in it, and it's still going. Yeah, Bertha doesn't have that many miles on it. She's only got like 141,000, I think, on it. It's got a ways to go, but those 5.3s will run forever too. Man, them things in stock trim will last for a long time. I attribute a lot of that, at least in my book. Well, nothing wrong with that. Well, the 4.8 isn't bad. 4.8 likes turbo boost quite a bit. It's a good boost motor. It not using T4 in the higher mileage engine. As long as it meets the spec of the manufacturer, it doesn't matter what you put in it, really. Are you talking about Rotella? I guess I wouldn't put any heavier oil in anything that I was going to drive on the street on a normal basis. I wouldn't go anything above 1030 anymore. It just it causes more. It takes more power to turn your oil pump when you put that thicker oil in there. Plus, a lot of these newer engines, the thinner oil will build up oil pressure faster. Don't give me any ideas. Yeah, well, you can always dream. How are you dealing with the lack of available projects? Well, not just projects, but it's happening at work too. I mean, to me, it's not necessarily the projects, but it is the cost of everything. Just like I priced I had a guy bring me a transmission, which I've got a video for that coming up too. A lot of the hard parts that I usually get on a normal basis have gone way up in price. The Z packs that I use is a good indication for the 4L60s, 700R4s, and all that stuff. I was paying about $67 for that pack, which was a good price. And now that price is $104. So yeah, it's gone up a bunch. It's just ridiculous. I got to get a hold of the other supplier I use. I want to take and send a bunch of. I've got some converters I need to send to have them reman. Mark, what you didn't say what year your Suburban is. Of course, that makes a huge difference. $900 whole chickens. What? So see, this is the kind of BS that just drives me crazy. Uh, it absolutely drives me crazy because I mean, there's absolutely no call for it. They're not getting what they want, so they're going to try to starve us and beg us and plead us to, and everybody's going to. Well, I guess if we don't do what they want, then we can't eat and blah 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 blah. And I'm like, oh lordy, we can all go back to growing our own food. I mean, that's what they did back in the day. Uh, I got a little land here. I can get a cow and some chickens and some pigs, and we'll just have ourselves a full blown farm. Self sustaining place. Where's it $8 a pound? And what kind of beef are you buying? Ground beef here, Doc, is like a $5.79 a pound, but Ricky, I don't know that I can answer that. I haven't. I've got 3 of them. Yeah, other than a new dash pad. I've got 3 of them, and I plan on experimenting with it and seeing what I can do. Well, I think one of them. I think my other 87 that I've got is missing the dash pad, but um, Doc, it ain't just the middle class. I think it's the lower class too. I mean, I'm definitely not a middle class. I'm probably the low class. Low class. Uh, but we still struggle like everybody else just to hang on to what we got, and that's the big thing. From advice from me, I don't know if you'd want advice from me anyway, but y'all, if you got your own car, um, hopefully you're not making payments on it. If it was me, I would try to find something that's used that you can pay for outright and not have a payment. I think that's going to be critical in upcoming events to happen, um, to make sure that you're not putting yourself in debt, because I think that's what's gonna get us. If um, since I went through my bankruptcy, I and no, I didn't have any choice in the matter. When I tried to sell my business, the guy hosed me on it, so I had to do what I could do to survive. Um, but ever since then, I don't want any debt. I really don't. I mean, I've got my house. That's it. So if you can get something outright, free and clear, where you don't have any payments, that's the way that I would go. Um, I'm not even sure that investing is the right way to go right now, especially with that new bill or law or whatever the hell it is that they passed, where they can see all your transactions. Um, I just getting too snoopy. Really. So they're stealing sheep now, huh? That's no bueno. No, you can't track gold or silver yet, but how are you going to, if something happens as far as the market's concerned, how are you going to find anybody that's going to give you anything for it once it's there? I mean, it can go any which way you want to do it. Me, I'm about ready to pull everything out of the bank and just run my own bank. You know what I'm saying? But in today's society, it is tough to do that, especially if you're anything like me where you pay everything online. Because, I mean, it's just so much faster. And the post office sure as hell ain't. And people are starting to steal mail too. Um, it's ridiculous. In fact, I got a package that they've been trying to deliver here. That's another upcoming video that I want to show you. But they've been trying to deliver this package for a couple of days now, but they deliver it when nobody's home and they have to have a signature on it. Well, that didn't work. So I think from now on, I'm just going to have all my packages shipped up there to the shop because there's somebody always there during the day, and that way at least I know that I'll get them. Bill, you're right. I mean, they have been. Um, they, I don't know. There's too much government interaction, and for my liking, way too much. Yeah. If you guys watch uh, Glenn Beck, um, he could be called a conspiracy theorist at some aspect, for the some of the for some of the things that he states. And I'm half tempted to buy his new book that they're calling about the Great Reset. Um, but he had a one-on-one with the 45th, and it was interesting to hear him talk about that. But he says, if this all ended tomorrow, and is it something that you could fix? He goes, oh, yeah. I mean, I could fix it and fix it pretty rapidly. Um, so, the only thing that we can hope and pray for is uh, when the midterms come around, that we gain back the House and the Senate, uh, because we desperately need to do that and get things back on the track, to pave the way for the next president. But man, there is no way that we can stand another 3 years of these two jackasses that we got in office. Yep, I would agree to that for sure. Me, outside of here, I never thought that I would put myself out here on the social media to, for criticizing or any, or not necessarily criticizing, but having some sort of following or anything like that. And I sure as heck didn't think I'd be talking one on one with people about current situations like we are tonight. Um, but I feel as it is important. Now, could I get canceled? Oh yeah, anytime. Um, there's been a couple of YouTubers that I used to follow, and that's the reason why they got off of it, is because of the amount of censorship that's been going on, and they can't justify the platform, but yet then they go to the Facebook, which is they're just as guilty about it as everybody. I agree. I mean, and the debate can be civil. It doesn't have to be violent by any means. I mean, not like the left would want you to be. I mean, it can be civil. It can be actual debate. I mean, but you have to be intelligent about it. I mean, you can't just go into an all out war with each other, which is what they're trying to do. They're trying to get us so riled up against each other that we're like this. And nothing will get done with that happen. We have to have a civil debate where, we come up with solutions to problems together and fix it. And that's not what's happening in our government. And that's what's taking this and going and dividing us. That's exactly right, Doc. He did. Um, I had a discussion with a good friend of mine. He also used to be one of my employees, and he kind of looked at a different way on Trump. Um, it was interesting his thoughts on it, and he says, it got to the point where I just turned everything off, and that was the best thing I ever did. Um, but the first thing that comes up when they talk about the 45th is that how pompous and arrogant he is. They're talking about his personal attributes or faults or something like that, where that's the only thing that mattered. I says, that's not, so you don't like the guy as a person. Okay, I get that. But look at what he did for the country financially. Look at how he ran the company financially. The guy knew what he was doing. I mean, we were in better he made smart business decisions. Eh, Yeah, he didn't have a filter on his mouth, but that's just the way a lot of people that came from New York or something like that are like. They tell you how it is, and you may not like what it comes out of his mouth. Uh, and yeah, some of the things that he said were disrespectful. So what? He was better for the economy and better for the country. So Doc, I'd agree to that, Doc. Yeah, my wife says I've got too soft of a filter. I'm actually too nice, and maybe so, but that's how I was raised, and and it's gotten me in trouble a couple of times too because I guess I put more trust in people than I should, and it's hurt me financially before too. Um, but I really don't know how to do anything different because it's how I was raised. I was raised to be nice and try to look for the good in people. Um, they're not ever there is still good people in the world. There's just not they're not all bad. Yeah, Ronald Reagan was a damn good president. I was still young when he was in office, uh, but he was a good president. Well, that's true, and that's what I'm hoping will happen, Doc. Because I mean, I've watched some of it. Oh, the biggest thing is, oh my lord, it's just been hysterical to uh, watch Fauci eat his words. Yeah, he's been under scrutiny here past past months, but it's gotten really bad here recently. Yeah, everything just needs an overhaul. It really needs an overhaul. Oh shit! Excuse my French. Anyway, back to projects. Oh, getting ready to start working on the donor again, donor Camaro, and still want to try to get that thing running. Snag a rap song made up about the vaccine, the city council meeting. Stephen, there was one that I got here not long ago, and I shared it on my Facebook page because it was hilarious. Um, some kid on there rapping about um, January 6th and all this other crap, and yeah, it was pretty funny. Well, the problem is, Bill, with term limits, the only way that that's going to happen is if they vote on it, and they won't vote to have term limits. Are you kidding? Don't they want to stay in office as long as they can so they can get that paycheck? That's pretty cool, Jerry. Goodness gracious, great balls of fire. I found this before I got on here. I was browsing around for some different engine harnesses and stuff like that. And I guess there's some company, no doubt, it's based out of China, of course. LS standalone wire harness out of China. No, thank you. It was cheap though. I just need to go out there and find something in a truck or something and pull it out. I would like to find an ECM and stuff for Scarlett that's later model that I can make work. For better tunability. That way that makes it easier to program fuel and all that good stuff and keep all the emissions just like you want to. You can find, you can pin the ECM just the same way. Once you find out what the terminals are and if there's actually anything there in that circuit, because all the later early model stuff used air pumps and solenoids for the diverter valves and all that good stuff. And with the EPA cracking down, I want to keep Scarlett as emission legal as I can, which is going to require some modifications to parts to make that happen. Just like I'm probably going to have to make a custom set of headers, because the ones I want are from American Racing. No, not the wheel company. They actually make American Racing headers. And you got to put the air injection tubes on there. So basically you would cut them off and TIG some fittings in there. So you'd be able to put your tube assemblies on the headers, and then you'd have to run a pipe down to your catalytic converters because if up to like 100 and I don't remember what it is, if it's 140, I think it's 140 degrees, 120 or 140 degrees, it blows air into the exhaust up at the exhaust manifold. And then after that, it switches and goes down to the catalytic converters. So, and then of course you got to keep your purge solenoid for your evaporative emissions. So yeah, you got to have all that, and plus you want to control electric fans and transmission if you're going to use an automatic. Blue Collar Congress. Yep. Could you imagine? You imagine Jeff Foxworthy running for Congress? Oh, that'd be hysterical. A 3-stroke straight shaft weed eater? Sure you don't mean a 2-stroke? What the heck's a 3-stroke? Oh yeah, Larry the Cable Guy. I don't care who you are. That's funny right there. Hell, I've got a 4-stroke weed eater, and what I did, I sold it. That's the biggest piece of crap I've ever owned. I hated it. Um, the 2-stroke would run circles around that 4-stroke. I kept my 2-stroke. I mean, it still runs. It just needs a few things. Yeah, that's something that needs to go away too. Guys, we just don't. We can't support all this electric stuff. Um, Lithium's expensive to mine. And once it's exhausted, you have a carbon footprint that's far worse than um, a gasoline engine by a long ways. Um, I just I don't see how this is going to work. Plus, how's the RVer supposed to get by with all that? I mean, because most of their generators run on either diesel or gasoline or propane. Um, it can't work. I mean, there's a lot of people and a lot of them that I follow that are full time RVers, and they rely on that generator. If they're boondocking somewhere, to give them power to run, heater, air conditioner, whatever. Because the solar options it's pretty expensive. It can be done, and what they don't tell you is the solar panels will exhaust themselves. After about 10 years, you'll have to replace the solar panels too. Yeah, that lithium, Doc, the lithium comes from Africa, I thought, wasn't it? Night, Jerry. Yeah, I don't see it. I think Jerry's got the right idea, boys. I'm about to fall asleep sitting in front of the computer. I think it's time for old Smitty to hit the sack myself. Plus, I'm getting cold and I want to climb under the covers. I've got shorts on, so I need to get these 4-legged kids out the bathroom one more time. I think I'm going to hit the sack. So this has been a good night. It's been a good debate night. Um, Not exactly the topics that I wanted to talk about, but that's all right. Um, Tomorrow's a big football day. Got a triple header, and my boys play in the evening, so I'm looking forward to that game. But I'm going to have to take a nap tomorrow afternoon so I can stay up and watch that game. So, big playoff weekend. We knew Buffalo was going to win. We knew Chicago was going to win, especially since they were at home games. So, tomorrow ought to be an interesting day of games for sure. So, y'all take care of yourself. Take care of each other. God bless you, and God bless America. And we'll see y'all real soon. Bye-bye.